Welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of Coffee with Kirren. Today's story is different. What started in May 2023 as a standard real estate deal quickly turned into something much deeper. This isn't just about property, it's about a professional partnership that evolved into a lifelong friendship through the toughest of times. You'll want to stay for the whole hour. This is a journey of resilience that you won't soon forget. So today I'd like to welcome my guest, Khadija, and she's in the UK right now. Say hello.
Hi, Kirren.
Hi, I'm super excited to have you. So we're actually doing this podcast by video call because obviously Khadija's in the UK and I'm in Dubai. So Khadija was actually my client and we met in 2023. So we just kind of wanted to kind of tell our story of where we started and where we are today. So Khadija, so let's go back to early 2023. Before we met, so we met at a roadshow in the Dorchester Hotel in the UK. And I was actually meeting with you and your husband. And prior to that roadshow, I think your husband had registered 3 weeks before the show. And I got the lead. Yes. I gave him a call. I started talking to him, explaining to him what off plan is, and just like educating him up until the show. But explain to me from your side, like what made you or Imran, your husband, register for the event? What was the interest in Dubai? Like, where did it all start from?
Yeah, we Kirren actually were we've been talking about this for a while because Imran's business obviously started growing and he wanted to start to invest. We wanted to Dubai was keep coming up for us. It's been a lot advised by a lot of his clients, a lot of our friends. He's got some family members in Dubai as well that been living there for a while. So yeah, I think it was the best I would say part for us to invest in. I think Dubai was one of the places we're looking for, security wise. I would say, in our future.
Sure. So because we know Imran knows a lot of people. So what made him register for the event rather than go through the people that he knew already, like in Dubai, or through other friends and family that registered?
Yeah, no, that was actually an advice for him. I think it was through some of his clients. I can't really recall exactly, Kirren, because it was some time ago. Yeah, but it was. I'm sure it was advice, and it really actually came up really suddenly because we didn't really plan anything like that, to be honest.
Right.
So he had this advice. He registered. We discussed about it, and then we just went for the event.
Great. So. Can you remember that event? Like, can you remember, like,
I do.
What was?
I do.
What was the first impression? So let me tell you from my point of view. So it was my first roadshow, and I had like 4 clients that I had really worked with for the good 3 weeks. Spent time, phone calls, educating them, sending them emails, everything. And I remember with Imran as well, I did a proper breakdown, spreadsheet, numbers, everything. And then when it came to that roadshow, it was super busy. There was just people coming in all the time. And it was just like so hard to stay on top of people. And, you know, people want to sit, especially when they're buying, they're going to take longer than like the hour allocation time they have. And then I remember Imran turning up and I was like, oh, I was sat with someone else. Like I was just trying to get them off my table and be like, oh, I don't want to go talk to Imran. But what happened with you guys? Because I know Imran said something when he sat down. Can you remember what he said?
We were confused, to be honest. We didn't know who we're talking to, and we actually were confused. We know Kirren because he was talking to you.
Yeah.
The moment we saw you, we really kind. You were so kind to us, honestly, because we were so lost. We didn't know what's going on, how this actually works, and you were really confident. That's what we loved it. But things changed later on because we had 2 agents. They jumped in.
Yeah.
Which we regretted after, but
we'll get to that bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was again like we wasn't sure about anything. We were looking for you because
Yeah.
Imran was talking to you, and he was actually literally just looking for you.
Oh,
We got there. We then obviously you approached us. I think you approached us.
I think I tried to come and meet you at the door, and I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just with someone. Yeah.
Yeah, because you were busy,
Yeah.
and then you took over. Now, then, yeah, we sat down, we start going through everything. But you was really kind. The way how you looked at us, like, oh, they look lost.
Yeah. No, so
They look a bit lost.
I remember that so you ended up sitting with another one of my colleagues because they were
Yeah,
available and I was still with someone. I mean, that would never happen in today's time, but at that
yeah,
time, it's how it was. Like they just, because there were so many people, they were just like, people just get to whoever. And then I remember you sat down with my colleague, and as soon as I was free, I came over. I was like, hi, and I shook everyone's hand, and it was you, Imran, and Imran's sister. And but then I think my colleague said to me, he's like, oh, I think you really need to come and say hello to this client. I'm like, well, yeah, I've been speaking to him for 3 weeks. And he was like, no. He sat down saying, you don't look like Kirren. So I was like, well, yeah, that's
yeah.
such an Imran thing to say.
Of
So yeah,
course.
I was just like, yeah, for sure. So, I mean, yeah, so I was a bit frustrated because, I didn't get to sit with you guys and go through the rest of the process. But you did end up buying property, putting some money down for a property in that
Yeah.
event. What made you do that in that event? Like, what made you guys feel like, because some people come to an event and they're a bit like, oh, I don't know, let me think about it. But you guys were quite confident in, okay, let's put some money down today and then see what happens, because it was just a token payment. What made you trust that system and trust the process and do that? Why did you take that risk?
I think Imran quite like the every question that he was asking, he was answered.
Yeah,
And he felt like confident that he can actually invest in there.
sure.
Because if let's be honest, when it was actually sold us the in the high rise, one of the Damak high rise. It was the 7th floor,
Yeah,
and that's Imran wanted the highest possible
yeah,
floor. Yeah. But everything was kind of sold out. So they had on level 7, which we agreed because he wanted to have the view of Burj Khalifa
yeah,
from the property. And that the way how they absolutely go, yeah, you're gonna have the whole view. You're gonna it's just it give us we had the whole the 3D plan
yes.
thing there.
Yeah, the
So
brochure.
everything looked so beautiful,
Yeah.
like we just looked at each other like, yeah, that's the one. And like I said, every question that Imran was asking, it was answered.
Perfect. So,
Yeah.
but then things went a bit wrong because then, like a week or two later, when it was the actual launch of the event,
Yeah.
I remember sitting there with my colleague who'd dealt with Imran at the event. And because there was 3 of us and we had several tokens and we needed to secure our units at this launch, and it was with Damak. And as we know, with Damak events, they are absolutely crazy and things sell out. So we were sweating buckets, like we have to get the unit. Now, Imran's token came out, and as you said, it came out as a 7th floor unit. And obviously he was expecting higher and he was expecting a lower price. And I just remember I was sat next to my colleague and Imran shouting at him down the phone. I was like, oh gosh. So, he was really, really not happy. I mean, can you remember how he felt at that point when because he was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not going ahead with this. Like, this is not okay. This is not what I was told.
Kirren, to be honest, he was actually very close to pull out.
He did,
From
yeah.
the yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm not joking. Like he was like literally like that close to actually call it all out.
He
Is
did.
because he was
Yeah.
really unhappy because he felt like he was misled with
Yeah.
everything. So we wanted that event. We had all the information. It's be sold all this beautiful life for us, and then suddenly nothing. The prices changed.
Yeah.
The level because obviously we're supposed to be at the higher level. Then that was sold out.
Yeah.
We found out in the last minute. I mean, how can you do that? So yeah, he was not happy, but we literally sat down and he's like, Khadija, what do you think we should do? And I'm like, look, we love the high rise there.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not at the level we want it to be. Price has slightly changed,
Yeah.
but this should not actually impact our still dream that we want to build there.
Exactly.
So he looked at me, he said, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. And then we went for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
remember at the launch event, I remember him saying to my colleague, like when he was shouting down the phone, and by the way, listeners, Imran's a big guy. Like, you know, you need to be scared if Imran gets angry. He's a gentle giant, but like, yeah, so he, like, my colleague was just like, oh my God, I can't believe like we're losing this deal. And I was like, but what price is it? So these guys in the event, they had told you the starting price, which was 1.1 million. But actually the unit you got was like a little bit more than that. And then when they were doing the video call with, they called it, they said, let's do a video call, Imran, before you decide to withdraw, let's have a chat. So there was a rep from Damak, there was my colleague who had dealt with him at the event. And then they asked me to be on the call. And I was like, oh, why is that? And then, because I've got the relationship with Imran and I'm the one that can probably win him over. But it wasn't about winning him over. So when we got on that call, we stayed quiet. I stayed quiet for a long time because I thought I wasn't involved in the conversations at the event. I don't know what went on. And I kind of like got removed from the process until this happened. And then I sat down and then they were talking about the figures and stuff. And I was like, wait a minute, Imran, go back to the information I gave you. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, go all the way back, open up that very first email. What price did I give you? And it was the price that he was given now. So I was like, stick with that because that is what you always thought the price was. So yes, it's not what these guys told you, but remember from day one what the price I told you. So really it's at that price. So I think I feel like from that point is where mine and Imran's relationship really got solidified because I think I don't know, but I feel like he was like, oh, actually, yeah, what she told me from day one is what's happened today.
Nothing has changed. Yeah, true.
So I feel like, because I remember, I don't know if it's you that said it to me or he said it to me, was like, because of you, I kind of trusted it a little bit more. So that was like really nice to hear as well.
That was exactly, to be honest, as well. The whole process with you, Kirren, there was nothing changing.
Yeah.
Price-wise, any detail, and Imran he was really specific on detail. He would not forget.
Mm-hmm.
So if you told him one thing, he will remember that. Yeah. So with you, it was always the same. Nothing has been changing throughout. So he gained that trust.
Yeah.
He gained that real trust.
We were always consistent, I think. Like, I think what me and Imran realized about each other from very early phone calls was we're very straight shooters. We just say it how it is. I'm not going to paint you a picture that's not real. Look, if it don't work for you, don't work for you. But this is a reality because, and for me, the reason, and you know me pretty well now, like the reason I do that is because the truth comes out in the end. I can't tell you something today and then a few months, days down the line, it's a whole different story. It's just, it doesn't make sense. There's no point in doing that. Be straight and upfront from day one. So it makes
that's what he absolutely appreciated in you, because you've been straight from start to finish.
Try to be. So no, not try to be. It's just natural, isn't it? So so he decided to go ahead, and then with that purchase, you got like a free trip to Dubai where you came for like 4 days. So you guys came, stayed in like a 5-star hotel, and got to spend 4 days, 3 days, or 4 nights or something like that in Dubai.
Yeah.
And then I think the first day, I don't know if it was your first day. Yeah, it was the first day you arrived. I think we pretty much picked you up and we took you around. And I remember at that point, like, okay, Imran's decided he's going to go ahead and do everything. So first we went and took you guys to Damak to look at the model, show you where the actual property is in Business Bay. And we took you to Damak, got the paperwork signed, and payments were made. And then honestly, like, I think you know this because you hear a lot of my work stories. A lot of agents would have just said, okay, see you later, shook your hand. And I was like, no, like this guy. Yeah. And I was like, no, like Imran, like I was just like, I want to win back his trust. Like even at that point, I felt like he did trust me. But I was a bit like, he's got a bit of a bad taste in his mouth, and I don't want that because I could, you know, I think we both had
Yeah.
good energy about each other. So I was like, and he was like, I want you to show me around Dubai. And I showed you guys around Dubai. I showed you
I
from
know.
south.
We literally saw
Yeah, from south to
everything.
north. Like I showed you guys Palm Jebel Ali all the way up to Sharjah. So
Yeah.
tell me from your side of things, what happened on that day trip, like what you guys were thinking and what you did. And I know you were just like, "Oh, I just want to go home." You were like,
No,
I'm
no,
done
no.
looking.
Beside the heat, it was really hot.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it was
'Cause
very hot.
we were
But
talking
it
about
was
our hair. We were like, you were like, how do you keep your hair not frizzy? I was like, I don't
that's
know.
what I was
Hair, which is that.
When Imran was thinking about the whole thing, the whole investment, I was scared about my hair.
Yeah.
No, because I left everything to him. I was just
Yeah.
following, and I left everything to him to deal with. But Kirren, it was absolutely special.
Oh.
I can't even tell you the way. Even when we came back, we were talking for hours. The whole thing, how the whole how by purchasing another property without just that was not in our plans. Let's be honest. But the whole thing, it was really special.
Yeah.
It wasn't just viewings. It's like spending time with family
Yeah.
for
And
us.
I think for me as well, one of the biggest things I remember about that visit and you two was when we were sat in the car and Imran telling me about his experience in sales and how I remember he said, he was like, you know, people stab you in the back. And he remember him saying, how did you feel when he took me at the event? And I was just like, I was like, well, look, I goes, the fact of the matter is, it is what it is. And my colleague did not have to include me in the deal. He didn't have to ask me to come along. And, you know, he could have just kicked me out of it. So that's where, like, with my colleague, like, I know that he felt bad for like sitting down with Imran and you guys, but I think everyone also knew it was like me and Imran are the ones that built that relationship. So it would only work if both of us were like in the same place at the same time. But I think like it was really nice I feel like that's where the bond really, really, really worked. When we were in the car ride and we were talking about personal stuff and life and families and things like that. That was really like special for me.
He was keep saying that how impressed he is with your knowledge.
Oh yeah.
Actually in Dubai properties, he was really impressed. The areas, the everything, every detail. He was keep talking and talking. I remember we came back after that day. We got home and we were talking for hours. Like he's like, I just can't believe, like she's so knowledgeable. No matter what I would ask her, she's got an answer for.
Yeah.
And you can see that she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. But if I don't have the answer, even today, I'll be like, let me find out. I'm not going to lie to you.
You'll
I'm not going
find
to
out.
make something up. Let me go find out.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
but he was very knowledgeable. That's why Imran was really, really impressed about it.
Oh.
So that was
bless.
really important.
Yeah. Well, we did, me and Imran actually, we used to talk a lot, but we'll come back to that. But let's go back. On that day, we went and got some lunch because obviously it was a long day. We'd been looking at different areas, different show apartments. We went to the big Cavalli villa and he started getting in his head,
Oh,
I want to
was
buy a
beautiful.
villa. You were like, no, I just want an apartment. And then I think you and me were just walking around that villa like, do you need this much room? And then you have to clean it.
That's
It was
exactly.
nice.
Imran always wanted a villa. He wanted a villa. All in my head, I'm like, I was just thinking, I don't want. I like the simple things. I don't like.
Yeah.
But that Imran loved all this. So yeah, he was really impressed with that villa. So he wanted to kind of have a feeling what he would get something later for us.
Exactly.
So that was really good for us to view a couple of these properties.
Yeah. But I remember I made him, well, I didn't make him. He just fell in love. Do you remember that villa on the beachfront in Sharjah?
That's what he wanted. Actually,
Yeah.
it was his dream.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, Kirren, that was actually his dream. He was keep thinking about it. That would be our home.
Because that's what the plan was, right? For you guys to, that's why you were going to start investing in Dubai in these smaller properties, then create some rental income. Then you have that income in Dubai. So then when you move here and then you have the villa And I think when I showed him that beach from Villa, he was just like, oh my God, this is exactly what I dreamed of. And he was like, send me the information. And you were like, no. And I'm like, okay. So like,
Yeah.
I was like, sending him the information. But we sat down and had lunch that day. We did the whole tour of everything. And we'd been to, I think, so the conversation was, we were talking about visas and stuff. And I was like, look, guys, you can just buy something small for this price and you can get the investor visa for like 2 years. And then there's this, let me show you this like property. It's going to be ready in like a year's time. And then, you can get the visa straight away. Something like, and then whilst we had lunch, I remember you and I ordered the mushroom risotto together. We had the same thing. Yes. And then we were doing the math and we were explaining to, you guys, this is how much rent you're likely to get and this is the situation. And at lunch, he said, okay, let's do it. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then, what was your view? Because I know he didn't discuss it with you because he literally said it at lunch.
Exactly. Yeah. Kirren, I remember we got home and I'm like, hold on a second, what just happened? You just bought another property that was not in plan.
Yeah.
We wanted to do this later on. I mean, are you sure? He's like, yeah, Kirren, yeah, she made it. She made this happen. And I'm like, are you really want this? Like, as it's so quickly, it's just so soon.
Yeah.
But I think everything made sense for him. And he just trusts your knowledge about that. And he thought it was going to be a very good idea.
And we'll talk about those numbers.
We was worried.
Yeah. But I was going to say, if we'll talk about those numbers in a minute, because obviously we've taken hand over that property now. So we'll get to that part in the story. But I think the numbers that I told him at that time are the numbers for today. So we'll come to that bit. People keep tuned in. You'll hear that bit. So, okay. So then, So then I remember that night coming to your hotel to get the paperwork signed. And I remember waiting in the lobby for a while. And I've still got the text message from Imran when he was like, I'm so sorry. My wife thinks she's going to the Oscars. She's taking ages to get ready.
I can't believe you said that. No, you didn't.
I'll have to screenshot and send you the message. It was so funny. And I was just like, I just loved his banter as well. Obviously, we'd spent all day together. We knew you guys were tired and you had dinner plans and you had things to do. So, but yeah, it was nice. I remember seeing you in that lobby and it was just such a nice way to like kind of end our day. Like it was so unexpected, but it just flowed so nicely. And then, so shortly, so that happened all around, it must have been like June 2023, right? Yeah, because May was the event. So June, you guys came out. And then like me and Imran, we used to talk, I think maybe every 2 weeks or something. I think first it was like every few days and then it ended up being like every 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I think it was every time he was like having to make a payment, he just wanted to double check, am I doing this? Am I paying it here? Is this the price? This and that. So that's where the conversations first were every so often when the payments needed. But then the conversations kind of ended up being just with me. He kind of, no disrespect to everybody else that was involved, he was very much like, sis, I just want to work with you. And he just started calling me sis. And he was like, no offense to the other two, but you're the only one that's actually responding to me and getting things done for me whenever I ask. And I was like, look, no problem. As long as you are getting the information you need and you're getting the service you need, I'm more than happy to do that. Don't worry. Just talk to me and we'll figure it out. And that talking to me ended up being like every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, every month, whatever it was. But me and him were talking very, very regularly. And yeah, he called me sis, I called him little bro, and we built a really good relationship. And it wasn't just business. We used to talk about personal life. We used to talk about his business, my job. We used to talk about everything. It wasn't just real estate. But from your guys' side, what was Imran's view on me? Like, was it just like, oh, I just need to make sure I have a good relationship because this is my agent? Or like, what was that forward relationship like? Do you get what I mean? So what was his view of me or the whole situation?
At one point, it just stopped being as a business. It became for him a friendship. He actually, he looked up to you.
Oh.
And I don't want to, again, Kirren, I don't want to kind of disrespect any other agents or anything
No.
like that, but I'm taking my experience as well from that day in the restaurant.
Yeah.
When before we got the second property.
Yeah.
I remember we were walking home and I said to Imran, I'm sorry, I don't want to be disrespect here to anyone else, but I can see Kirren here. She's got the brain. Let's be honest. This girl, I absolutely love this girl. And he said, yeah, I have got the same feeling. I just have
Oh.
the same feeling. And from there you guys start kind of sharing the goals with
Yeah.
each other. So it wasn't just, again, his loyalty. You kind of he trusted you so much, and he could see that everything that now he invests will gonna be through you.
Yeah.
And it will be just, it's not just, again, agent and a client, is friendship.
Yeah.
It became
sure.
a real friendship, and not just friendship as well. I would say actually family.
Well, yeah.
Because it became now really family.
Yeah. And
so,
that's what. Go on.
Yeah. Sorry. So but for him, he was excited. He was excited to message you. He was excited to discuss with you different opportunities, different ideas, or what did he hear something, a new area or a new investment or a new property, something he wanted to just share with you.
Yeah. I mean, if you go back and look at all our conversations in WhatsApp, it was just ridiculous. Like
it was more than actually talking to me. Let's be honest. It was more than talking to me.
Yeah. It was we were just, there was always something to talk about. But like I said, it wasn't just real estate. We used to talk about general other stuff as well, like personal life, our health, whatever it might be, family, so we spoke about other things. But I really do feel like he was always my biggest cheerleader, because he recommended me to a lot of people as well, which I really, really was grateful for. Like, I never expected that from him. I thought, I'll be honest with you, because I feel like Imran, you've got to build that trust with him. And I feel like I thought, once the properties are handed over, the keys are in his hand, then it'll be like, okay, now I can tell people about this girl. But actually, he started recommending me to a lot of people. And I was like, I was always like getting a phone call from someone like, Imran gave me a number. I was like, great. So like, he referred me to so many people. I was just like, oh my God, this is crazy. So that was a massive thank you, to me, from me to him, was because like, I was like, you didn't have to recommend me to people. But again, I feel like, he knew that I was going to do my best and I wouldn't let him down in that sense. So I'd always like look after.
Exactly. That's the right way to say, actually, Kirren. He was really confident to actually put you through to all his clients and his friends, because he knew that you were not gonna let them down, because you didn't let him down either.
I'm sorry, we keep talking about his clients. Just tell everyone what the business is that Imran has. So it's he's very, very well known first he's a very big guy, so very well known in the gym and also in luxury cars, right?
Because of his love for luxury cars, he started creating these luxury R's. And all made of carbon fiber and very expensive materials, obviously. But it was growing really fast. We didn't even expect it would go like that fast, even in the first year. Most first couple of years, everyone experiences losses in their business. Where Imran was just going up and up really fast. So that's why we started thinking, okay, it's time for us to start thinking about investing.
But his was like sculptures, wasn't it? Like the Ferrari horse, or Ferrari. I'm very bad with cars.
It was for very special clientele. Because it was luxury cars for Lamborghinis, Ferrari, Bugatti. So all the super fast cars.
And like I said, so I remember he had when he was in Dubai, he'd had a little bit of business, and some of the artwork is still hanging up in that dealership in Dubai right now. Every time I drove past, I see it, I'm like, Imran Shields. So yeah, no, that was pretty cool. But so yeah, so obviously his clientele are going to be very important to him because it's his business reputation, not only his personal reputation. So I understood that and I knew that. And even today, anyone that's come through Imran's recommendation, they're going to get taken care of like it's Imran, because I would never disrespect him in that way. So when I think we kind of spoke about this before, but what was the whole Dubai dream? Like, what was the plan? Like, so we said you kind of wanted investment properties to eventually move here, but like, why? Why were you planning to move to Dubai and leave the UK? Well, you're not from the UK originally anyway. So you're from Romania, right?
Yeah, it was for me. It's easier to travel and change, live couple of years here. For Imran was a big change.
Yeah,
because for him, all his life he was born here. He lived in UK, so for him it was a big step to actually for us to think to move abroad. However, because of our values and security, I think Dubai was keep coming up for us being the right place. It was the right place to build our future, our home, our family there.
so the plan was to kind of, like I said, get those investment properties. And I think he was trying to establish some of the business over here as well, wasn't he? And then
He wanted to move completely the business.
Yeah.
Because he was already dealing with this, and he wanted completely to move the business from UK to Dubai.
Yeah. So then I think that I remember now that was the plan, was to like have all that done. And when that's all set and in place, then you'll move over and buy that villa on the beach. That was always the plan. And I remember
Correct.
he used to always be like, Kirren, I got to get Kat that villa. And you're like, Kirren, I don't want a villa. I just want an apartment. And he was just like, we were always like, I'm like, who do I listen to? So yeah. That was pretty cool. So then things changed a little for all of us. So it was like 20th of January, 2024. So nearly a year we'd been in each other's lives. And I'm sure it was a Saturday morning. I can't remember fully. But I remember me and Imran were on the phone from like 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Talking about properties. And we were talking about, I was coming to the UK at the end of January, in about, I think like 2 weeks time, beginning of February, end of January. And so we were talking about, okay, I'm going to come and see you guys. And then, because I think we were supposed to meet in December when I was in the UK, but I got so busy with family stuff. And I remember you guys were driving to come and meet me somewhere. And I was like, I'm so sorry, I got to cancel because the family's just turned up. And you know what it's like you can't leave the house. So again, sorry about that. So, which
okay. We were very, very upset back then. I'm joking.
The only time I let you down.
We literally want to meet you. We were in the car, we're driving to meet you, and then because you said that you've got family emergency. Then we're like, okay, what we'll do? Let's go have some dinner.
Yeah, I know. I felt so bad because it would have been nice, obviously. It's always nice to meet people in, especially in the UK because we're from the UK. But yeah, I was there for a family event. And then family just turned up last minute. It was like, oh, they haven't seen you for ages. You shouldn't go and all that stuff. So I was like, damn it. So yeah, so we had to cancel that meeting. So then obviously we were speaking. And then when we spoke on the 20th of January for those, however many hours it was, 4 hours, we were like, okay, I'm coming to UK end of January, first week of February. We're going to meet up. I'm definitely going to come and have dinner with you guys. We're definitely going to do something. And then he was like, okay, and then I'm going to come to Dubai in March. So let's plan the third property. And so we were just talking about all those things. What happened on the 20th of March? No, 20th of January.
That day. So, that day is always going to be in my head. It was never gonna go. So we actually wake up really happy in that day.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Imran was talking to you. You, and at one point he gives me a big hug and a kiss, and he's saying, Angel, I'm buying you another property.
Oh.
And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, shh, I'm very busy right now. I'm just I'm just talking to my sister. I'll tell you everything. Just hold on. So
No.
obviously he was, I don't know exactly what you guys were talking there. But I think because that's what he said to me. Apparently he wanted to get another property there.
Yeah.
And he was ready to get to invest in another one.
Yeah.
Then obviously we got ready. He wanted to get back into the gym because because of the business was taking over a lot. He kind of finally managed to get a little bit of some time free, so he decided to go back into boxing.
Oh, nice.
He came back in that day after the training, and he started feeling unwell, and everything went really quickly. He literally, he passed in my hands suddenly. It was heart failure, and it was that's the day when my whole world has collapsed and everything has changed. Is yeah
Yeah. Unfortunately, Imran did pass away on that day. It really chokes me to say it.
yeah
Phew.
yeah
Give me a second. Oh,
yeah I know.
sorry. Okay. So for me, from my side of things, I got a text message from someone that Imran had referred to me. And this was a good few hours later. So I think I stopped talking to Imran about 2 p.m. in
Yeah,
Dubai time. And then at like 9 p.m., I got a text message from someone saying, "Oh, look, I just think you need to know that Imran's passed away." And I was like, nah, I was speaking to him this morning. I was speaking to him like, it doesn't make sense. And then I was like, and he was like, no, it's true. He's like, not many people know. He's like, but I thought you should know. And that person told me straight away was, make sure his properties are okay. And I was just like, hold on a minute. Like, no, this is not right. I was speaking to him this morning. You've got the wrong person. Like, this is not real. And then I remember I text him, hey bro, are you okay? Like, cause I just didn't believe it. And then I started seeing it online on social media. And then I was just like, oh my God, this is real. This is real. And then I deleted the message that I sent to Imran saying, hey, bro, are you okay? Because I just thought, I don't know what the right thing is here to do, because
yeah
obviously, like in my heart, he was my little brother. But to other people, I might have been just an agent. So I was a bit like, oh, I don't know how to deal with this. Like, I don't want to text. I don't want to ring anyone. I don't want to ring you because although, yes, I know I had that relationship with you, but I just thought now is not the right time to ring you. I don't know what else to do. And then honestly, I was just like crying and crying and crying because I couldn't fathom what, like, I was just speaking to him. It's not okay. And I
I
remember
know.
like, I couldn't go to work. And I think for me as well, no one understood why I was so upset that my client had passed away. And I'm like, he wasn't just my client, he was my brother. So it was just not, it just wasn't, yeah.
It was really really painful. It still is, because let's be honest, it's a grief that we're going through, and it's still quite fresh.
Yeah.
This is like what is two is only 2 years. So yeah, it's still very very fresh. I still cannot. I don't think I'll ever. I still feel like I live in a world that nothing is real anymore.
Yeah.
That nothing makes sense anymore.
Yeah.
I wish I can actually explain. Like before, I was dreaming for. I had dreams. I don't have those dreams anymore. I
No.
literally I don't. I wake up, I go through the day, and then that day is gone, and then another day.
But
I don't look forward for it.
But one thing I've told you in all this journey and all this time, which we've still got a lot of our journey to talk about, is you are so strong. You are so strong. I remember. So what ended up happening eventually, I think maybe the next day, I think it was you or his brother. You text me through Imran's phone. And I remember the message that you sent to me. And I was just like, that killed me. I just couldn't read the message properly because
Yeah.
you said something like, I'll find the message, but you said something like, you made him so happy that morning. He said, Kirren is my angel. And that just
Yeah,
killed me. I was just like,
yeah, that's exactly what he said.
this we weren't supposed to do this.
Yeah.
This was not supposed to happen. We're supposed to be stronger now.
Hello.
You good?
Yeah.
I think I'm too weak for this. But do you know what it is? It's because he is a big part of my journey, because he really believed in me at the beginning.
He did. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't. I'm sorry I have to interrupt you here, but it's true. The way how he was actually talking about you, the way how I never seen anything like that, Kirren. Like really, Imran, when Imran believes in something, he would actually he would fight for it.
Yeah.
He was fighting for you. He was like really. That's why for him, you doing well, that would means everything for Imran.
I know.
I know where Imran is there, but you doing well would mean everything for him,
And
because he saw in you. He saw in you what he's got.
Yeah.
That fire, that passion.
Yeah. And that's what it was.
That true.
And he was so, I think what we both related on as well is that he was so genuine, and just out of the
Yes.
kindness of his
Yes.
heart, he just wanted to help people. And I think he saw that in me as well. Like I just want to say we're just good people. We help wherever we can help. We'll do whatever we can do. And it's not always about a transaction. It's about being human as well. And I know that he felt that with me, and I felt that with him as well. And that's why I was always like, I would never let you down. And I made him a promise very, very early on. I will always be here, whether it's to do with your property or whether it's to do personal things. I'm always going to be here. The day you call me sis and I'll call you bro, that's how life is going to be. Until this day, I'm still here because we're still very close. So
Yeah.
and like I said, I remember you sent me that message saying, you know, which was like really touching, and I broke down again, and then I got myself together like, no, I need to be strong for Kat. And then I remember you saying, look, I don't know anything about these properties in Dubai. I'm going to ask his brother to contact you. I was like, perfect. As long as you've given me the okay, no problem. And then I remember his brother called me, and I was really trying not to cry because I was like, I don't know this guy. I don't want to be like on the phone. And I remember I went back to the office that day, like the day after or 2 days after. And every time someone mentioned Imran's name, I cried, like, because everyone in my office knew Imran. They didn't know him personally, but they knew this guy with this business to do with the cars, to do with the gym. Everyone knew him one way or another. And so when everyone's like asking me, is it true? Is it true? And I was just like, just stop. Like I couldn't deal with it. And then I was just like, please just don't, no one mention it. And then, then the brother rang me, and I was just like, I remember the part of, obviously we talked about the properties, but I remember a part in that conversation when I was like, I wish I could pray for him. But I don't know if my prayers are going to mean anything because I'm Sikh and obviously he's Muslim. And then he was like, no, you pray. Any prayer is going to go to him. So you pray for him as much as you want. And, you know, it will help my brother. So that was really cute, because that's one thing as well. Like, it doesn't matter that I'm not Muslim. I was still respected as his sister as well, which was really, really nice. And then we got talking about the properties and where things were with the properties. And what was it like from your end? I know what I was experiencing of you, which it wasn't the Khadija that I knew. It was a bit of a really, really hard time for you, right? Like, you were just trying to figure everything out.
Wow. Honestly, Karen, I couldn't even think about anything else beside Imran. I didn't want to think about anything. However, I had everyone around me saying, what is going to happen to Imran's business? What's going to happen to Imran's investments? What is going to happen? And my husband made a will years back. He put everything in my name. He always used to compare me to his mom, my mother-in-law, because he always would say, you are so like, I need to protect you because you're so naive, and no one will be there to do, what I do. That's why Imran he made that will for me.
Yeah, I don't think you're naive. I think with you, Kat, this way you and me are similar, that we just expect every person to be good, and we trust the first thing they say to us. We don't see that there's ulterior motives, because we're not like that. We're very much like, oh yeah, I said the sky's green. Oh, the sky's green then. Like, you just believe them because you don't expect people to like, because we're not like that. So I know I've seen in our relationship, you know, that's a lot of what you and me talk about, is how we're like, why did I go through this situation? I need to be stronger. Like, why didn't I see this coming? And, you know, so yeah, it's, I think that's what it is for sure. But when we were speaking about the properties, I remember you saying, like, you know, you don't understand what's going on with this, what's going on with that, because Imran didn't tell me about everything. And I think the interesting thing was, as well, again, to how close I was with Imran, he'd actually purchased another property elsewhere, not with me, in the UK, but no one knew about it. And I had to tell his brother, I'm like, no, there's another property. He's like, what? I was like, I don't know about it, but I know his brother had his phone. I was like, go through the messages, go on this date. He mentions another property to me. I don't know nothing about it, but go and look into that as well. So this is, I mean, the level of the conversation I used to have with Imran, like, he used to tell me things that probably he didn't tell many other people, because we have that trust. And to be fair, who was I going to tell anyway? So, and then you were trying to figure everything out, and obviously it took, you know, legal people, you know, you had to get lawyers involved and solicitors to figure out all his stuff. And then you said you needed my help, so then I jumped on a flight and I came, right?
Yeah, that was absolutely, I'm actually shocked until I think I tell this to everyone, Kirren, actually everyone. I had no idea about anything. All financial situation was on my husband's shoulder.
Yeah.
It was, I didn't know anything about. For me, it was like that. You know, I'm the happy wife.
Yeah.
How they say. Imran was taking care of absolutely everything. So suddenly, I imagine I wake up and I've got his business that is here, and then all this investment, and I don't even know how much money is invested, what is invested. All I know, Imran has invested into properties. That's all. How much, how many already installments has been done? I had no idea.
Yeah, but luckily, though, you were in Dubai, or you knew about the investments, and you knew me. So at least that bit was the lucky part, that we'd kind of had, although, like, obviously I had a stronger relationship with Imran because he was the one that I was speaking to day in and day out, but at least we had met, we had spoken, and we already knew each other. But obviously we're a lot closer now, but then back then it was, at least we could, like, see each other. And I remember coming to the UK, I remember it was super cold. I remember you offering to pick me up from the airport, and I was like, no, I will meet you at the solicitor's office. Like you haven't got enough to deal with. Even then you were like, no, sis, I'm going to come and get you. And I'm like, no, I will see you there. And then I remember being in the solicitor's office. I remember feeling a bit attacked, actually. I remember
I feel they start attacking a bit.
No,
I was there, no idea about what is going on.
I get why. So there was basically, just like for the listeners, so Khadija was there. I remember your sister was just in the corner of the room, just being there. There was a couple of other people, the solicitor, someone on a video call, phone call. And I think because obviously everyone involved didn't understand the way Dubai real estate worked, and like you said, the payments and stuff, when they were doing the math, they were not understanding the math, and they thought I was giving them the wrong prices, and they thought I was adding to the fees. And so I was like, no, guys. And I had literally broke it all down, wrote an email. So the bit that they hadn't accounted for was the DLD fee, the accrued fee, like the fees you have to pay. And to be fair, one of the statements was wrong. I think it wasn't showing properly. So we were trying to figure out what, but I could quickly identify what had gone wrong there anyway. And I think I had told Imran that earlier on. So luckily, you know, thank God for WhatsApp, because we had it all in writing. But by the end of that meeting, we were like, okay, cool.
Everything was clear.
Yeah, we know what we're doing. We know what's happening. If you need me, I'm here, kind of thing. And then that was a very tough goodbye between you and me because you'd been so strong all through that meeting. And then
Yeah, but I want to add something. I really want to add something here, Kirren. You saved Imran's dream and you secure my future.
for sure.
You coming to UK, you actually did this. There's nothing less. You literally saved Imran's dream because he worked so hard for this and securing my future there. I mean, let's be honest, who else would actually do that nowadays? I don't know anyone. I really don't know anyone.
It just wasn't like there was no doubt in my mind that. So the actual backstory of that was I was coming anyway for the road show. There was an event at Dorchester. So this was the time that me and Imran had planned to meet anyway. So I was like, I'm coming. And then literally 2 days before I was supposed to fly out, the company told me, oh, we can't send you for whatever reason, not enough numbers or whatever it was. And I was like, no, like I have to go meet Imran's wife. Like, you guys know the situation. I have to go meet his wife. I promised her. And they were like, well, just explain to her you can't do it by video call. I was like, no, like I have to be there in person. Like, this is such a sensitive subject and it's really important and I want to be there to like give them straight answers straight away. And I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm having annual leave then. I'm just going to fly myself out there. And that's what I did. I paid for my own flight. I stayed at a friend's house. Luckily, my friend, said, yeah, come and stay with me. Yeah. Because for me, like I said, I made that promise to Imran and, I was never going to ever not make sure his assets aren't protected or his dream doesn't come true. Like, I will still do that. Like, and for you as well, like, I keep telling you, move to Dubai. I'm here. I can't wait for you to come. We got all these plans and we're going to do all this stuff. So,
which we will.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's move on to a little bit more happier stuff. So, yeah. I mean, we got through all the tough things and then you came to that same year, you came to Dubai in October 2024 because one of the properties was going to be ready for handover. So you needed to come and take handover, obviously see it, check it. And actually things had changed in the time period of when you first brought it to that point where when you first bought the property, it was to get the 2-year investor visa. And then by the time you came, rules had changed where I could then help you get the 10-year golden visa, which was amazing because that's what he really wanted. And that's what you guys wanted because, you wanted to live your life here. Yeah. So tell people a little bit more about your trip here because you didn't come alone. You came with a special lady who's like one of my besties.
Yeah. So I came here. I came there with my mom.
Yeah.
I needed support. I needed emotional support with me. Yeah. I remember when we walked. It's just see you. It's like it's like a big. Like I'm like, I can breathe.
Oh.
So it's like I felt like so more like okay, I'm fine. I'll be fine. We will be fine.
Yes.
You took us to the property. We got the keys, and that was really emotional for me because I supposed to walk into that property with my husband.
Yeah.
So I should have walked there with him hand by hand.
Yeah.
And I walked there with my mom, and it was really, really emotional. It was really hard. But then I can't even.
Do you know, it's going to sound really weird, but I had, when you walked in, I remember you were stood in the middle of the room and I stood by the door and your mom was just in front of me. And I was like, I was going to go leave. I was like, I don't think I can handle this because I was like feeling like I was welling up. And then I remember I actually visualized Imran being in there. I don't know if you felt, but honestly, obviously it depends on what you believe spiritually, religiously, but I felt his presence there. Like I saw him walking around that apartment. Maybe it was because I saw him walking around. I don't want to upset you. Maybe because I remember him walking around the show apartment. And I just remember that whole conversation because I remember him going, oh, can I use the bathroom? I just remember everywhere we went, he wanted to use the bathroom. So, so, oh, bless him. But so, and I remember you saying like, it just doesn't feel right that he's not here. But I felt him there. Like, We did it.
I
We
felt
did it
like
for him.
that's exactly I want to say. You did it. I don't want to say because without you again, Kira, this would have not happened. So I remember I looked at you and I'm like, you did this. You made this happen.
Yeah.
You did this, and it's just, yeah, uh, um, it was huge. It
Yeah.
was so much. It's so many emotions.
Yeah.
And finally we've got the keys, and finally actually that's gone through, and we're there. Yeah, it's been so much. It meant so much for us. My mom was emotional a lot.
Yeah.
And I do remember as well, I saw your face and I think you were tearing up. I saw your face, and I'm like, but that's the moment I said, all this is because of you.
Oh, no.
That's
It was
that's
for
it.
you, it was a team effort. Like you guys trusted me, and I just feel like people come into each other's lives for reasons, and I think you and I have said that. We were brought into each other's life for a reason. So, it's God's plan as far as I'm concerned. But going back to that day of handover, you and me quickly. So we were all a little bit sad, a bit emotional. Then we walked out the apartment and we saw the women's only gym. We were like, oh, this is
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Yeah. We loved everything. The
Yeah.
outside, everything was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Actually, no, let's be honest. The complex is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful complex.
And then it took a couple of months, and we took a bit of toing and froing, but we got it rented out. It's been rented for
I really want to add something.
yeah.
Another thing is, oh my goodness, the golden visa. How, I mean, Kirren, like, thank you so much. Honestly, sis, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You actually took time from work
Yeah.
to go with me every door, open every single door, because
Yeah.
I was not even be able like that, because I don't know what do I do, what do I need to say, what anything. You actually took time from your own work to work with me and sort out my visa. That again, wow. I mean, what can you say to that? How many would actually do that?
But it wasn't, but at the same time, Kat, it's both ways. So it wasn't like, I think at that point, we were no longer a professional relationship, and we did look at each other like family, friends, sisters, whatever you want to call it. Your mom was the cutest. I remember, because she couldn't speak English. She was always like saying really nice things to me for you, like, oh, my mom's saying this, oh, my mom's saying that. But like, the whole golden visa thing, I was always going to walk you through that. Even if Imran was still here, like there's no way I could let you go off and do it on your own. And then we obviously set up the bank account, and then,
Totally easy.
do you remember
Yeah,
setting
but
up?
you done just so easy.
Yeah.
Everything it's like knew everything. And to be honest, that was for you at first as well, right?
Yeah, so normally when it comes to visas, I'd recommend people to go to a visa agent. But then I realized that I could save you money by telling you to go directly to the DLD. But obviously I'll support you in that. So, I mean, I'm not going to charge you anything, because that's the whole point, is for you to save money, right? So I was like, look, trust me on this. Let's test it together. You be my guinea pig. Let's figure it out. And what was interesting, at the beginning, we had a few hiccups because of the way the properties were registered at the DLD. So that was like, at least we got that sorted out pretty quickly, and we learned the process. But yeah, we got through it really quick. And then we got your bank account open. We got your UAE pass. I remember we had some fun and games trying to like get the DIWA set up, because you couldn't make the payment, so I had to make the payment, and then we were just like,
I know, right?
forwards and backwards. But on that trip though, like we're talking about, yes, we took hand over the property, we did the golden visa, but we did other stuff, like on a personal level. Like I've never had anyone come to my house, no client. You and your mom came over to my apartment because I just moved in. It was like my new apartment. I was like, guys, and you were like, oh my
Beautiful
God, I
apartment.
love this. And I was like, come and live with me. Then you were like, you just need a dog. Like, yeah.
No, I remember I was there. That's so beautiful. So proud of you, honestly.
And that's
beautiful
the thing.
property.
Like you and Imran, I still feel like Imran's still here, but like you guys have supported me on every step that I've taken. You're like there to listen, you're there to advise, and it's a give and take situation. It's not just about me helping you from the real estate side, because you've gone through such a big tragedy. You know, you the whole having to learn how to run this whole business that you've never ever had your hands involved in, making sure that's still successful, making sure the investments are still all happening and working, and trying to take advice of lots of different people as well, like knowing what is the right thing to do. Like, and then you still got your own job. So the fact that you're like, you've come so far yourself as well. And I'm so proud of you. Like, you always tell me how proud you are of me, but I'm so proud of you for everything that you have gone through and where you are today. Because I remember, you know, how much you struggled at the beginning and you got through day by day. I remember the text messages you used to send me in those early days, and it used to break my heart. And I just never knew how to respond other than like, it will get easier. It will get easier. I'm here for you. And I didn't know what else to say because I couldn't take the pain away for you.
Yeah.
But and that's why, like I said, when you guys came to Dubai, it wasn't just a case of me just helping you with the real estate stuff. Like, no, you come to my house and I brought you a little incense burner because you love my incense burner.
I got that. Yeah. That's my favorite thing. I only use it on a very special occasion. That's how much it means to me, you know. Because even my sisters-in-law, they're like, "Why are you not using it every day?" I'm like, "No, only special occasions, guys. Do not touch it."
I have to send you some more incense. But yeah, and then we went for a really nice dinner. Like, you were like, "I want to take you for dinner. I want to go to this restaurant that Imran took me to." And I remember we went there. I remember we went shopping in the gold souks. Do you remember? Or in the souks?
Gosh, it was such a good experience. Yeah, my mom still talks about this until now.
Mom loved it. Like, your mom just loved it. I just remember like taking her. And then we did something else. I can't remember where else we went. But yeah, we
done dinner, we done walks. We done lots of walks as well because we want to see the second property where it's going to actually be built. That's so the entire area you showed me other areas as well in Dubai that are in obviously growing. So yeah, it's amazing to know all this because like when we first came to Dubai, let's be honest, I didn't see that much. It was quite a short trip. So yeah, the second time you managed to actually show me a lot, and I learned a lot there. So yeah.
Oh, good. But going back to that, so actually I need to send you a video update of the one on the canal because your floor is built now. So there's the structures are coming up. So I'll have to send you an updated video and maybe add it to this podcast as well so people can see where we are today.
That would be amazing because I'm so excited. That's another year.
Yeah, not long now. So going back to the other property that you took handover of, just wanted to talk about so it was a bit of like I don't want to say headache, but we didn't get it rented out straight away, but eventually it did. Maybe like a month later, maybe it got rented.
Yeah, actually I would say quite fast.
Yeah, but I know it was
fast.
Yeah, I think we'd like to have rented it out a bit quicker than it was, but I think maybe let's say a month, because then we're saying, should we have it furnished, unfurnished? So we were doing all that. Then we got it furnished. That was fun. So I went and got the
that was fun.
I went and waited for the furniture delivery, got that all put together. But in the grand scheme of things, from a business point of view, so with that property, compared to what you paid and compared to the rent you get on it now, you are getting like 9% ROI. So the numbers that I had given Imran back in 2023 are exactly what happened. So
correct.
I know that he's happy. He's happy. He's like, she stuck to a word. So yeah, that worked out well. Okay, so now that you've got your golden visa, what's the plans?
I'm waiting now for the second actually property to build, and I'm moving to Dubai.
Yay! We're gonna be besties.
That's it. You have me for life now.
No, I know what the other thing was that we did when you came to Dubai. You came to the gym with me and you met my PT.
Yes. Well, trust me, from now on, you've got your own PT.
Yes.
I'm a PT as well.
Yeah. No, I remember you. So I remember you loving coming to the gym, and you were like, "Oh my God, this is such a good gym. Oh my God, I could come here." And I was just like, I remember, yeah, I love taking you around because you got to see my world as well. And then you get to see like what life is like living in Dubai, not just being a tourist. But sorry, so I
I
cut you off.
know.
So what I was
Yeah.
saying is that, so when this next property is ready, you plan to move into it?
Yes, I'm planning to move into it. I mean, right now, this is the plan. Um, let's be honest, this was always the plan, me and Imran to move there.
Yeah.
So I just here. I love UK. I've been in UK for so many years.
Yeah.
20 years I've been in UK. But now all is associated with UK is just the pain. Is the pain because everywhere I go is Imran,
Yeah.
and it hurts me, and I feel like I cannot move forward. I feel like I literally so stuck.
Yeah.
And I feel like I just need, that's why it took me ages actually, sis, to take this decision, because I spoke to my sisters-in-law, and I'm like with my parents as well. And they're like, yeah, but you've been so long in UK. I'm like, yes, but we would have eventually moved with Imran to Dubai anyway.
Yeah.
So, but I think right now I just need to turn a page, because I feel like if I continue like that, I don't want to live the way how I live right now. It's day by day.
Yeah.
I want to look forward for things. I want to enjoy small things in life, because life is short and you don't know what
Yes.
can happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I want to enjoy these little things, because I know Imran would want that for me as well.
100%.
I don't think he is happy to see me the way how I am every day here,
No.
upset and not looking forward for any other day. I think he just wants me, okay, it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to start looking forward for something. And yeah, after it took me some time to decide about this, but I think that's the right decision. Once that property is ready, I'll gonna move there.
I think so. And I'm super, super excited to have you here every day. We might not see each other every day because I do
Yeah,
work a lot.
that's another thing,
But
because everyone was saying to me as well, sis, like, but how would you be there by yourself? And I'm like, I'm not by myself.
no.
I've got my sister there.
Yeah.
I've got my sister there. I know she's busy. She works really hard, but I know I'm gonna see her. I'm
You
not completely by myself.
exactly.
So yeah, I mean, look what this actually brought us,
Exactly.
how we started and how now it's ending. That's like a story to tell about it.
Exactly. And that's why
Um,
we're doing this, right? We always said
yeah,
one day we need to tell this story. One day we need to tell Imran's story. And Imran's story still needs to be told properly. I don't feel like we've done it enough justice in this
no,
podcast. This was a story about the whole journey of how our relationship started and where we are today. And I really appreciate you doing this because, I think a lot of people expect when they see a real estate agent in Dubai, they think they're just going to get someone that's going to sell them a property and then say, see you later. And I just wanted to highlight, okay, sometimes that does happen. I'm not going to say I'm this close with every person that I've sold a property to, but I am always available on the phone. But our relationship and our friendship is a story to be told, because
yeah,
even if Imran was still here today, I know we'd still be like this. It might be
yeah,
Imran on the podcast,
yeah,
not you. Sorry, Khadija.
yeah, yeah. That's true. I'm not gonna. That's 100%. They will be, and you never know, because Imran was actually thinking as well to invest in you as well.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
wanted.
So that's
Yes. So
something.
we need to say about that as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but yeah, Imran was. That's why how much he believed in and trusted you. He wanted to invest in you,
Yeah.
and that says again everything.
Yeah. I remember he used to say to me, sis, you need your own business. Sis, why are you working for someone else? Sis, you can do this. And I was like, oh, not yet, not yet. I need to establish myself in Dubai. I need to establish myself. And even when I did launch this Coffee with Kirren business, although Imran wasn't here, you were like, sis, oh, I've got this marketing company. Oh, do you want me to talk to this person? Or let me try and help you. How can I help you? And what I love about you, Khadija, is that you're my biggest fan on Instagram. You're always liking my stuff and giving me love hearts and giving me hands up and flames.
You know what? Sis, let's be honest. There is. I actually didn't see any podcast like that about Dubai. There is. I feel like there's so many people they don't know about actually the investment in Dubai properly. And I think you doing this, you give so much knowledge to people. There is lots of. I believe there is so much there actually. that want to invest and they don't know where,
Yeah.
how actually this works. And you doing this podcast are actually gonna help so many. And I want you to actually really push this for more LinkedIn, more on all the social medias, because more and more people are gonna find out, or will, because you even started from everything from the bottom, the way how we started. We had no idea
Yeah.
anything about the investment in Dubai and what this will gonna give to us, how is actually what would benefit us. And look, everything turned out absolutely amazing.
It did. We've got a good story to tell. Like I said, this is why I really wanted to get you on a podcast, because we've got the story from the business side. We've got a good success story, and it's still continuing. And then from a personal side as well, like we've had a good journey. So if you were to turn back time and were looking to invest in Dubai, what would you say would be the so say someone new is listening to this podcast, they're thinking about investing in Dubai, they don't know where to start, and pretend that you're not recommending me as an agent, because I know you would recommend me to everybody anyway. But what would you what would you
We're gonna cut that out.
I'm just going to put my phone number here. Contact me. Seriously, what would you say, like, when you're first picking an agent, what would you look out for, when you're working with someone like Imran did all that time ago, when we were having the 3 weeks of conversations before the event and during the event? Like, what made you guys think, okay, this is the agent for us? Or were you just like, we're just going to have to go with it and figure it out? Like, what advice would you give to someone else?
Well, I would first make sure that you've got, so you need to have a set of what you're actually looking for. Again, Imran didn't know either, as well, sis. He invested in the UK for one property here, but he never knew anything about how to actually invest abroad. He was really worried about that. He does some research online himself.
Yeah.
And then obviously he was asking you, and he was getting not just answer to his question, but everything more.
Yeah.
So that gives him the confidence.
I just remembered that when he was asking me about prices and stuff, I was like, Imran, there's a site called DXB Interact. Just go on there. Oh my God. I used to get screenshot after screenshot. I goes, oh, I love this site. Look at this, look at this, look at this. I was like, I created a monster. Like, I literally thought he was going to end up being a real estate agent himself.
Yeah. No, like I said, do your research. But now having this podcast, we're gonna teach so many people about investment.
For sure.
What is actually, even from there's so many steps there. Like, for example, even the DLD, I'm sure we didn't know about this.
Yeah.
There is so many other hidden costs that you don't know.
Yeah.
And having this podcast, we're gonna, oh, right, okay, this is what I should expect.
Yeah.
Not going to a show and giving you one price and then you find out exactly. You know what I mean?
Do you know what?
Having this podcast, oh my gosh, we're going to open so many people's eyes. And they're like, right, this is what I should expect. So now they know exactly when they go to an agent, if they don't get the right answers, then they need to move on and find a new agent.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I think that's probably a good place to end this podcast. And I'd like to thank you so much for, one, giving up your time whilst you're fasting to do this podcast with me. Secondly, for being a great friend and sister. Like, I love our conversations that we have forwards and backwards. You're like seriously like always in my corner, with whatever, and vice versa. You know that, I've always got your back with in anything. And I just love the friendship we've built. And I'm super, super excited for you to move to Dubai. And then we're going to have our own podcast.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was going to be absolutely amazing. I was actually so nervous, to be honest.
No.
Because I never done anything like that, but it's just, it's been absolutely amazing to talk to you about all of this.
So again, thank you so much for being on Coffee with Kirren, season 2, episode 2.
Thank you so much. I absolutely adore you, and thank you for everything.
No problem at all. Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye.